The first time I saw her, I thought I had walked into a dream. The chamber was vast, circular, and illuminated by a pale violet glow from the crystalline walls. At the center, seated on a throne carved from what looked like liquid metal frozen in mid-flow, was the alien queen herself. Her presence was overwhelming, tall, imposing, yet strikingly graceful. Every inch of her radiated authority, and yet there was an elegance to her that no human ruler could ever match. I had been assigned as the liaison between our human exploratory fleet and this newly contacted alien civilization, the Xylan. My mission was simple on paper: observe, report, and maintain diplomacy. In practice, it was anything but simple. The Xylan were different. Their culture, their body language, even their perception of personal boundaries were alien, literally. I had entered the throne chamber by mistake, mistaking it for the briefing room. My first words were probably a mistake in themselves, but my eyes betrayed me. They had wandered, unthinkingly, and I realized far too late where they had landed. "Human, why are you staring at she began, her voice a low, melodic hum, which seemed to vibrate the air itself. She didn't finish the question. Her eyes, wide and glimmering like twin amethysts, locked onto me, and I froze. I stumbled. I could feel my face heating up. Every protocol I had learned about first contact was screaming at me to apologize, to avert my gaze, to explain that I meant no offense. But in that moment, something strange happened. I didn't avert my eyes. I didn't apologize. I said the first thing that came to my mind. "You're powerful and beautiful." I couldn't look away. I blurted, the words bold, maybe foolish, but sincere. For a heartbeat, the chamber was silent. Even the soft hum of the glowing walls seemed to pause. Then the queen's expression shifted. Her initial shock melted into something I couldn't immediately identify: curiosity, amusement, perhaps disbelief. "You dare speak so freely to me?" she asked, tilting her head. Her long, slender fingers tapped lightly against the arm of her throne. The gesture, I later learned, was a Xylan way of measuring intent. "I speak what I feel," I replied without thinking, my heartbeat hammering in my chest. "I mean no disrespect, but I don't believe compliments should be wasted." Her laugh was the next sound. Not a laugh as humans know it, but a sound that vibrated through the floor, through the walls, and even through me. "Bold human. Most of your kind tremble before my presence," she said, leaning forward. "Yet here you are, staring and speaking truthfully. Why?" I believe in honesty," I said, feeling a strange calm settling over me. "Even if it's dangerous." Dangerous. That word seemed to catch her attention. Her eyes narrowed slightly, studying me. For a moment, I thought I would be thrown out, or worse. But then she smiled. Not the polite, measured smile of a ruler, but something more, human-like in its warmth. "You are unlike any human I have encountered," she said, her tone both approving and incredulous. "Most bow, most avert their eyes. You meet my gaze. You acknowledge me fully, without fear or flattery. Boldness or stupidity, I cannot yet decide." "I'll take boldness," I replied, a grin tugging at my lips. I've been alive long enough to know the difference. The alien queen rose from her throne. Her towering presence filled the room even more now. I could see the rippling strength in her limbs, the fluid power in every movement. And yet, she didn't intimidate me the way I expected. There was a magnetic pull, a quiet force that demanded attention and respect, but not in a way that crushed me. Instead, I felt curious, intrigued, and strangely alive. "You are daring," she said, walking closer, each step precise and deliberate. Few humans possess this audacity. I could have you detained, interrogated, or expelled. Yet you stand here unshaken. I'm not afraid of speaking the truth, I said, my voice firmer now. Even if it means angering a queen. Her gaze softened ever so slightly, and she stopped a mere arm's length from me. I could feel the faint shimmer of her alien energy, a warmth that was both intimidating and inviting. Few have survived a direct encounter with me unscathed, she murmured. And yet you stand. You are different. Human, what is your name? Ethan, I replied. Ethan, she repeated, testing the sound. You will stay in the palace for observation. Your boldness is intriguing, and perhaps useful. And with that, she turned, her flowing armor-like attire catching the light, and motioned for me to follow. I realized then that my life, my mission, and everything I thought I knew about human-alien diplomacy was about to change. Over the next several days, I learned more about the Queen than any human had been allowed before. She tested my limits, not with weapons, but with conversation, challenges, and observation. She asked about humanity, our beliefs, our weaknesses, and our strengths. And each time, I answered honestly, sometimes boldly, sometimes foolishly. And each time, she seemed to study me not as a human, but as an individual worthy of attention. One evening, after a particularly long series of tests that involved strategy games and simulations of alien warfare, she stopped and turned to me. Her expression was unreadable. Ethan, she said softly, few humans survive my scrutiny without flinching. You have. More than that, you make me reconsider my assumptions about your kind. Bold, fearless, honest, perhaps even worthy of trust. I swallowed hard, unsure how to respond. I just try to be myself, I said. She studied me for a long moment, then finally smiled. It was the kind of smile that made the entire palace seem warmer, brighter. Then that will have to suffice, she said. And to my surprise, she stepped closer, tilting her head as if considering me. Human, you have risked much speaking so freely. I am intrigued. We will see how far your honesty and boldness take you. From that day forward, my role in the Xylan Palace changed. I was no longer just an observer or a diplomat. I became an advisor, a confidant, and, in ways I could never have imagined, a friend. And perhaps something more. The alien queen, who had once inspired fear and awe in every being she encountered, had been shocked, yes, but also moved by my audacity. In the end, I realized that true courage wasn't in weapons or strategy or physical prowess. True courage, in that chamber bathed in violet light, was the ability to stand unflinchingly in front of someone who could destroy you and to speak your truth without apology. That boldness, that honesty, had not only saved me but had earned the attention of a being who few dared even to glance at. And in that moment, I knew that some connections between species, between worlds, were forged not by fear, but by courage and the willingness to look where no one else would. The alien queen had been shocked, yes. But more importantly, she had been awakened to something human, something daring, something unexpected. And I had survived to see it. Ending. The story concludes with Ethan gaining the Queen's respect and trust, having survived an encounter that could have ended disastrously. It leaves open the possibility of a deeper bond between human and alien, built on honesty, boldness, and mutual intrigue. The closing emphasizes courage, truth, and the beginning of an unusual alliance or friendship.